Dark Side of the Ring is making its return in
Now that
March.
actually is one of my favorite shows.
There we go. Dark Side of the Ring returning in March with a pretty awesome lineup. A little blurry here, but you guys can see that. A really cool lineup. You have Hell in a Cell, Big Van Vader, Tony Atlas, Ludwig Borga, which is going to be an insane episode,
Absolutely insane.
Billy Jack Hayes, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, the
My man,
superstar Billy
Billy
Graham,
Graham.
Daphne, the original Sheik, not the Iron Sheik, and keeping with the
Ma.
theme, Muhammad Hassan, which
That's
will be a banger of an episode there in that
gonna
theme.
be absolutely insane, man. Oh, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Out of
Trevor,
these, uh,
immediately though, I mean, just this feels like a Dark Side of the Ring lineup. They're going to be covering some of the biggest stories on Vice this upcoming season. Which one are you looking most forward to out of all of these? Which one
I'm
caught
gonna
your
be honest
eye?
with you, none of them. But
Aw.
not in a like it's gonna suck type way, but like in a I don't know if I can deal with watching it type way. Um, I mean, I don't know. I guess I think the least sad is probably going to be Van Vader and Tony Atlas, but those are going to be bangers too. Tony is going to be it completely like left wing. Oh, Tony Atlas is insane. um, Ludwig Borger is another one though. Ludwig Borger is definitely that one. That one and the Daphne one. Daphne is the one that jumps off the page the most to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, it's gonna be insane.
I feel like, I mean, look, there's going to be definitely some sad ones here. I mean, a lot of these people, as we know, have passed away in one way or another. Um, you know, Vader, Borga,
Yeah.
Eddie Gilbert is going to be one they're going to talk. People are going to talk about Daphne, of course, and I mean the original Sheik. But I mean, it's going to be a season full of those. Um, I know that Dark Side of the Ring is like known for telling the story of like very like sad, salacious stories. I will say that outside of the Muhammad Hassan one, because I am really interested to hear what Mark Kapani, who's the person who played
I
Muhammad Hassan,
really
has to
want to
say.
hear his side of this. Honestly, I have never actually heard him talk about this before, so I would love to hear what he has to say.
The ones that I am most interested in seeing are number one. I mean, the original Sheik. I know a lot about the story of the original Sheik. I wonder what a lot of his peers have to say about him. Some
He was a
almost 20 years, over 20 years after his passing now.
he was an interesting fellow.
He loved it. There's just like one infamous spot. It was WCW Halloween Havoc '95, and
Mm,
and Sabu was wrestling, I think Jerry Lynn or something, and Sheik and the original Sheik was like his valet, and
mhm.
at the end of the match, the original Sheik, like Jerry Lynn had already lost, Sabu got the victory. The original Sheik goes into business for himself and takes a fireball and just launches it like without telling anyone, just launches it right at Jerry Lynn. So this man got like fired as he was. Look, we were talking earlier about Hulk Hogan being a carny.
Oh
Yo,
yeah,
shout out to the original Sheik. That's crazy.
Little Sheep was definitely.
He's a super carny, bro. He's a super
Yeah,
duper carny.
he used to wrestle with Sabu a lot though. Like they weren't they a tag team at one point.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
also have okay. So the other two, the other one is Hell in a Cell. Just that story. JR is gonna be in that episode.
of
Like,
course.
I'm interested to hear what the stories are gonna be. Mick Foley's also gonna be
He's
interviewed
he's
for
got to
that.
be in it. Taker's probably gonna be in it if they can
Taker,
get
no
him.
way, Taker's doing that. Nah,
If they can get him there, he's gonna be in
he's
it.
too
But
much
he's
of a
probably
Fed
not.
boy. He's a Fed boy. Um, and then the other one that people might not know about, but Billy Jack Haynes. Billy Jack Haynes, a very very if you don't know a lot about like Florida wrestling, Homie
Yeah,
was not Homie. I don't own that. But he's a very popular wrestler in like the '80s in Florida, and he
yeah,
very timely here because he was recently accused or I think even charged with murder. So um, I mean that's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
also going to be a very
Not
sad
long, right?
story as
Few
well,
months ago.
but one that has not really been told. You don't really hear about Billy Jack Haynes when you're talking about the
No,
larger
a lot of people
conversations.
don't know about Billy Jack Haynes.
Yeah.
Ludwig Borger is another one that people don't really know
The,
about.
well, people knew him. People know him because of what JR said about him on his podcast.
Oh well, yeah.
Eddie Gilbert, though, is another one I'm really interested to hear about too.
Yeah, Eddie Gilbert. That's going to be interesting. I mean, Billy Graham would be interesting too, but I guess not for the same reason Eddie Gilbert will be. Um, Hot stuff. It was something else.
Hot
Some
stuff
of
with
the
Eddie
stories.
Gilbert.
Of course, a lot of these wrestlers were wrestling before either of us were even thought about. But Eddie Gilbert was one that was talked about, and you know, and that you've seen, and his story is very interesting. Same thing with Billy Graham, a superstar Billy Graham.
That man is gonna have a lot to say in that interview. He, if there's anyone who will tell you exactly what is on his mind at all times of the day, it is superstar Billy Graham. Let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm wondering exactly how deep they're gonna go with the whole Daphne situation. How because that one again, that was one that actually me and you talked about on this show actually.
Yeah, yeah, that was man, that was Trevor. That was almost what 5 years ago now?
Was it
Four
5 years
years.
ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah.
4 years. Ago. We're
Yeah,
old.
man, it was yeah.
But yeah,
Rough one, definitely
time
rough
flies,
one.
man. But yeah,
Yeah,
Dark Side of the Ring, season what's it, seven,
six,
six, seven,
7. One of
seven.
those.
I don't know.
It's
But Dark Side of
it's
the Ring,
going
hard.
it's going well, man. I like it. I love Dark Side of Wings. I think it's a hell of a show.
The Harley Race
Shout out
episode
to the
last
guys that are
season.
doing it.
The
Say
Harley
again.
Race episode last season, like that's one to me that stood out.
Yeah,
As like one of my
Harley
favorites.
Race. I'm trying to remember all the ones last season. They did Harley Race. Did they do Junkyard last season?
I think so. Yeah, they did do
Yeah,
Junkyard Dog.
that one. That one got me too. That
Mm.
that one was. I knew how big he was in Louisiana, but I didn't know to that extent. Like it was to the extent that they thought he was from Louisiana. Like he was a North Carolina boy, but they thought he was from Louisiana, and his story was sad too. But